Welcome back, you beautiful people. I am dressed for a very special occasion, a versus between the cross-country bike and the cross bike. Right, quick rundown on my cross-country bike. This is my Canyon CF SL. What CF stands for is carbon fiber. This is a full carbon rig. I've got a dropper post on this. It's a cross-country bike, but it's nice to have a little bit of a drop when you come to some descending on a cross-country bike, because that saddle's really up there and it's a bit uncomfortable when you're coming descending. It's a 29-inch wheeled bike. These are FSA gradient wheels on this bike. Full carbon as well, super lightweight. I've got some nice aggressive tires on this thing, Continental Cross Kings. It's grip shift, it's 1x11. This thing's built for climbing, it's built for speed, tackling everything. Plus, I've got 100mm up front and you can lock this thing out so it's a full rigid bike. I'm moving on to this cross bike. Some would say this is a super old school mountain bike. Well, I beg to differ. I call this a cross bike. It's my Nukeproof digger. It's in a medium-sized frame. It's aluminium. Love the color. It has a dropper post on it. Again, I like to get that saddle away when I'm going descending. Not that I'm going to go do some downhill runs on this. Maybe not. It's got hydraulic disc brakes. It's a rigid bike. There's no suspension on this thing. It's got carbon fiber front forks by Nukeproof. It's 1x11 and I'm running a 42 tooth up the front, and I got pink clipped on pedals from Crank Brothers. That's enough said of this. Let's put these things to the test. Okay, yeah, before you start putting them things in the comments, why are you wearing lycra, Blake? Well, to be honest, I don't wear lycra that much, but when it comes to riding cross-country and cyclocross, I need to look the part. So I'm wearing gym and bib short trousers and my race top. I got a cross-country helmet. I'm clipped into my bikes, which I hardly do. That's why I have to feel part. Now I do feel part. Let's get on with our first challenge. Head to head, mano a mano, we're gonna put these things to a test with descending, fast fire roads, jumping, technical trails. This is cross bike versus cross country bike. A nice single track trail to get this whole thing kicked off. It's really mellow, this one, so there's a bit of a flat dead spot in the trail where you're gonna start to be on the pedals a bit, where I think both of the bikes are gonna be pretty fast at doing this. But then it starts to descend a bit into a bit of a rough, muddy section, real twisty, where I think the cross-country bike is going to be a lot quicker through that section. But this top bit, super flowy, there's some obstacles in here that's going to put both these bikes to the test. Now I'm going to start off on the cross-country bike and then get onto that when I come back and come out with a verdict. Right, ready, steady, go! That trail, super fast. It's not super rough, but it's real good fun. It's a little bit techy, fast corners and all that. With this bike, you know, I didn't have the suspension locked out, whereas the digger is fully rigid. So I didn't want to lock out my suspension because it's a little bit rough in certain sections. There's a few obstacles, but the climb up, a doddle. I think he will be a bit quicker in the flat bits. Let's go and get the digger. Oh. Okay, now to change over to the cross bike, which I think it'll be good. It's gonna be rough. I'm gonna see which one's faster though. Put that there. Stay. Good. The cross bike. Hydraulic brakes, gonna need them if I'm going too fast. Dropper post, definitely gonna need that. Feels weird. Right, 3, 2, 1, Go. I felt real fast. Maybe because I'm lower to the ground, everything looks like it's going super fast, but I felt like I could get more power down on this bike on the straight sections, but when it came to those corners, and it was a little bit tight in those puddles and rough bits, it got a little bit sketchy. So, but I did it. And I think it's a little bit equal. I think this is more fun because it's everywhere. You're bouncing everywhere. And like I said, the power, you can put the power down. I nearly skid it out over there. Replay to that. Whoa. Let's get to the top. Let's go find some horrible climbs. Let's fire road first. Oy. Right, fire roads. Now, I'm gonna say it straight away. This bike, the cross bike, is like a road bike for the dirt. The fire roads on a smooth surface, fire road or bike paths or whatever, this bike far exceeds the cross-country bike. You got small tires, less rolling resistance, it's rigid, you're in an attack position. This thing, better than a cross-country bike, even though you can lock out the cross-country bike. This is way better. Let's get to that climb. Climbing. Well, to be honest, both bikes are pretty good at climbing. This one is rigid, skinnier tires. When it gets muddy, they clog up. And it turns into a fat bike and you lose all grip. Oh, good though. Gear ratio, so much harder than the cross-country bike. Whew. Okay, straight up, this bike is a lot easier to climb. I can get more traction on the rear because of the body position. I'm sat more upright. Whereas on the cross bike, I'm quite low down, so there's a lot of weight on the front and I lose traction on the rear. Grip, I have an abundance of grip. Gear ratio, way better for climbing. Super easy. I like it better than that. Faster. Now, when it comes to techie climbs, the cross bike itself is a challenging machine. The body position on this rig is kind of more on the front, so you're going to lose quite a lot of traction on the rear. So you're going to have to sit back in that saddle to get maximum grip. Now, the king of the techie climbs when it comes to wet routes and getting over stumps and logs is the cross-country bike. There's an abundance of grip in these tires where they're a little bit bigger and they can gain a lot more traction. Plus, your body position on this rig is kind of more on the rear, so you can just sit back, relax, get as much grip to that rear tire as well. And the gear ratio on this machine is better for techie slow climbs, whereas that is built for going fast on flat surfaces. Now, it's time to go to the bike park. The Isle of Wight Mountain Bike Centre, my local spot, my local bike park, is pretty cool. It's got some cool jumps. And I like to get in the air, so I am gonna just test my skills on the cross-country bike first and then cycle back to the top and try with the XC bike. A bit nervous about that one. Okay, now I felt a little bit on edge going down there, especially that step down. I cased it and really bad. Now the cross-country bike, it's not designed to do such things, but you know, I like to push the boundaries. I'm a guy that likes to do some jumps. So I thought, hell, let me get this thing airborne. Now I think the cyclocross bike's gonna struggle. You might hit the first few, but not all of it. 3, 2, 1. Wish me luck. Okay. Now this gap here is massive and it's a bit out of my comfort zone. I am not gonna do that. That there, my friends, is the limit to the cross bike. It's a step down, and I am stepped down on the drops. I'm gonna stick to these tabletops. They look way more fun. Oh, this is way more fun. Still getting air. I'm gonna live to ride another day. Woo! So the question is, when you get down to your local pub, which one are you gonna buy a pint at the end of your ride? Would it be the cross-country bike? Would it be the cross bike? Well, if you're under the age, which one would you buy a soft drink? That's the question as well. Now, well, do you know what? I'm gonna give it to the cross bike. You know why? Because it's super interesting. It challenges me. It's raw, there's no suspension there. I'm riding on the drops, your body position's pretty far forward. I do love it and I love the challenge, but when it came to the jumps and stuff, it's not built for it, nor is this. But the cross-country bike, I'm not gonna rule it out. This thing is super fun. It's a mile muncher, it's a 29, it's comfortable, more comfortable than this. But this with a front fork, which you can get, would be amazing, super good. Now, which one would you buy a pint? Let us know in the comments down below. And if this video helped you out, you know, it's a bit of fun between the two. And they're both thoroughbreds in their own way. Now, give us a thumbs up, like if you love this video. Hit the globe to subscribe because you're missing out. And if you want to see how hard I push the cross bike, click over here. And I'll see you at the next one. See ya! Oh, cheers, mate. Yeah. Yeah, I'll get you one as well. Don't you worry, man. Yeah.